Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Inshallah, we continue with the Ramadan lessons after Asr that we have promised. They are meant, inshallah, to be very brief, very short reminders. The topics usually are so wide that it is not possible to do justice to everything. We cannot cover everything, but what we mean by these lessons actually is to give brief reminders and to provoke thoughts and action, so that at least some of you would go and try to find out more, learn more from what we say, and some, if not all, may be driven to positive action, that is to try out some of the advice that we give. That is the benefit of reminding. Allah himself subhanahu wa ta'ala said to his messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, فَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَى تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ فَذَكِّرْ إِنْ نَفَعَتِ الذِّكْرَى. That having been said, we spoke the last time, as you may remember, about the virtues of Ramadan and fasting, but also especially about sabr, the quality of patience and perseverance, and the fact that sabr, patience, is one half of fasting. Ramadan is the month of patience, and the reward of patience is paradise itself. And we spoke about dhikr itself, remembrance of Allah, as Ramadan is a great time for the remembrance of Allah. In fact, what we are doing now is part of that reminder, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering our deen, remembering our messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Sheikh Ture, Jazakallah khairan, yesterday spoke in some detail about some of the aspects or virtues and ethics of fasting and Ramadan. We will continue today to say a little about dhikr, especially in Ramadan, but dhikr at all times, since the deen itself is dhikr. Allah sent his messengers up to our Prophet ﷺ, the greatest of them, to remind, which is a dhikr. Allah has named the Quran itself a dhikr al-hakim, the wise reminder. And has said in the Quran, Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. And he has also said, wa aqimis salata li dhikri. He also said, wa aqimis salat, inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar, wa la dhikrullahi akbar. All of these are very clear evidence, importance of the greatness and the importance of a dhikr, dhikrullahi, that is remembering Allah, and reminders that take us back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fadhakir, remind, Allah tells his messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and through him the rest of us. And he has said, وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي, and establish salat for my remembrance. So salat itself is a form of dhikr. It is indeed the greatest form of dhikr, the greatest way by which we remember Allah and hold communion with him, that is, communicate with Allah. We relate to him. And in the other ayah that I have quoted, أَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ, establish salah, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ تَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنْكَرِ, for salat will take you away from everything shameful and indecent, any inappropriate behavior, anything haram. When you establish salah, you will keep away from this. وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ, and the remembrance of Allah indeed is greater. The little we understand from that includes the fact that salat itself is the greatest form of dhikr. That is why Allah mentions it directly. But dhikr is even wider than the ritual salah that we make. وَلَذِكْرُ اللَّهِ أَكْبَرُ, remembering Allah is even greater. We mentioned last time remembering Allah with the tongue. That is repeating the names of Allah, making dua to Allah with your tongue. We will come to that part also, because dhikr and dua are like two sides of the same coin. We also mentioned that remembering Allah with the tongue is the beginning level of dhikr, of the remembrance of Allah. But there is a higher level, which is remembering Allah with the heart, dhikr of the heart, which comes through perfection of dhikrullah with the tongue. And then from the heart you move to dhikrullahi, dhikru sir, remembering Allah in what is spiritually known as the innermost being. When your whole being, your whole body, your soul, your spirit, everything is engulfed in the remembrance of Allah. But all of these come with practice, and the practice begins with the tongue. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam teaches us the adhkar of the morning, which begin with waking up in the morning, and the climax is salat as-subh, and you make the obligatory salah, and the adhkar that come after the obligatory salah. And it teaches us the adhkar of the day, the adhkar that you do during the course of the day, from midday to Salatul Dhuhri, then after Salatul Dhuhri and Salatul Asri, the adhkar before and after Salatul Asr, the adhkar of the evening, and the adhkar after Salatul Maghrib, the adhkar after Salatul Isha, and the adhkar of the night. Then we know that it is very important that the adhkar are organized, and that the adhkar are done constantly and in an organized manner. Because if we want to understand it, we compare it to one who aspires to physical fitness or to success in any athletic field or sporting event. They need to constantly practice and train, but their practice and training has to be organized in a certain manner so that they would be able to reach and maintain physical fitness and success in their sporting activity. The worship of Allah is the same. That is why it is organized in this manner that I have just wow. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, it is about the adhkar that we are talking about. This is why, as I mentioned the last time, that our great mashayikh, may Allah have mercy upon them, when they established what is known as Turuq al-Sufiya, these Sufi orders, the aim was to bring people back to Preston Islam, to the Sunnah of Rasulullah alayhi salatu wasalam. Like they organized the adhkar, and the constant adhkar that you make that will serve to train your body and your soul to be one with the purpose of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in creating us. That is why you have adhkar at fixed times. And you have specific adhkar that you make as Rasulullah has taught. Yes. We find, for example, as I have mentioned, that the Quran itself is the greatest form of dhikr. And the best recitation of the Quran is done in salah. So salah is the greatest dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the greatest remembrance of Allah. Then the recitation of Quran outside salat with the mushaf that we are coming to make immediately after this brief reminder is the next greatest form of dhikr after salah. And then the recitation of the Quran without looking at it from your memory. These are the greatest forms of dhikr. Then the highest, topmost form of dhikr is the mentioning of the name of Allah, or the unity of Allah in La ilaha illallah. So Allah tells us, La ilaha illallah hisni, in Ahadith al-Qudsi, that La ilaha illallah is my fortress. Man dakhalahu kana amina. Whoever enters it becomes safe from my punishment, becomes safe from all forms of evil. La ilaha illallah indeed is the highest form of dhikr, because the meaning of salat itself actually is La ilaha illallah, that we bow down to none, we pray to none but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ يعني لِيُوحِدُونَ. I did not create mankind and jinn, Allah says, except that they should worship me alone. Then when you say La ilaha illallah, the first way to prove that to yourself is by your making salah. Then La ilaha illallah is the highest form of dhikr, and within that, the most powerful dhikr is Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil, which Allah mentions in the Quran al-Kareem. It was what Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam said when he virtually stood alone against a whole nation. Yes. The nation of Babylon and their powerful king Namrud, when they kindled, they set that fire for which they gathered wood for a whole month and set up that massive fire and threw him naked into the fire in a catapult. It was Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil that Sayyidina Ibrahim said and depended upon, that Allah suffices me and is the best of protectors. And his enemies were put to shame, they lost, and Sayyidina Ibrahim won. And it was what Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba said, as Allah reports to us in Al-Imran, Surah Al-Imran, when it was said to them, be afraid, fear people, for they have gathered against you. They said, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. And Allah says, Lam yamsashum su'un wattaba'u ridwanallah. Not a single harm touched them, and they followed in the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Quraysh and the confederates, all the tribes of Arabia, their allies, when they rose against the Muslims, Allah defeated them by Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Then dhikr indeed, fellow believers, is of paramount importance to the Muslim. And like I said, with dhikr and dua are like two sides of the same coin. Dhikr with the tongue, as it is organized and directed, and the best way to do it, as our mashayikh have taught, learning from Rasulullah alayhi salam, is that you take the little that you are able to maintain. Do not take too much that you will not be able to maintain, for then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not like it from you, that you do it for some time and then you stop. No. If you take too much, you will not be able to continue with it, but take a little and be constant with it. Just like physical training. Do what you can, but do it constantly and regularly. And as it develops, especially if you have a qualified guide who knows and practices the Sharia, as Rasulullah ﷺ has taught, as the tongue gets used to it, the whole body starts feeling it, and then it gets to the heart, remembering Allah in your heart. That leads you to constant remembrance of Allah wherever you are, whatever you are doing, at home, in the streets, at work, in the masjid, with people, without people. Your heart and mind are constantly with Allah, and that takes you to the level of al-ihsan. Remember, in the long hadith Jibreel, Rasulullah ﷺ taught us what Islam is, and then taught us what Iman is. Sheikh Toure mentioned this yesterday. Iman is a level higher than Islam in this technical meaning. Then the highest level of both is al-ihsan, the level of ihsan. When you get to the level where you worship Allah as if you were seeing Him live and direct. And Allah is seen in this dunya with the heart. It is the eye of the heart that sees Him. I remember here one grand Sheikh, one of the greatest mashayikh of this ummah, Sheikh al-Jilani, when he said in one of his qasaid, نظرت بعين الفكر حبيبا تجلى للقلوب فحنت. Words that have very deep meanings. نظرت بعين الفكر. I took a look with the eye of contemplation, the eye of the heart. Habiban, a beloved. Tajalla lil-qulubi, who revealed himself to the hearts of men and women. Of wisdom, that is. Fahannati, so that the whole being, the whole existence of the human being, so that my whole being craved and yearned and longed to be with him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. How wonderful. In the Athar, or perhaps you will find it actually in Hadith, especially Hadith Qudusiyya, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said that the heavens and the earth, as wide as I have created them, do not have the capacity to contain me. Allah is greater than all that He has created. He said, but the heart of my believing servant is the only place that is able to contain me. Oh. Allah Akbar. And that heart is the heart that has reached the level of al-ihsan, when the tongue constantly remembers Allah within the scope of the Sharia, so that the heart begins to feel the presence of Allah. And you worship Allah as if you see Him wherever you are. Or at least if you don't reach that level, you reach the level where you are aware that Allah is with you, that He sees you wherever you are. So that your solitude, your loneliness is driven away by the presence of Allah, that you're communicating with Him wherever you are, whether you are with people or you are away from people. When the heart is so full of Allah, it's as the heart pumps blood to the rest of the body, so it will pump the awareness of Allah to the rest of the body, so that every part of your body feels the presence of Allah, that you're constantly repenting to Him for your shortcomings as you are a human being and your own doings, and you're constantly eager to be with Him, that you remember Allah not only with your tongue but with every part of the body, that is the innermost being, the sir, feels the presence of Allah. There the believer reaches a level of perfection, human perfection, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your only companion, if that word is right to use with Allah. Yes. That physically you may be present with human beings, but in reality, that is spiritually, you are with Allah alone. This is where dhikr indeed can take us, the remembrance of Allah. So let us, fellow believers, endeavor in Ramadan. For it is a school, it is an institution, a university that will graduate us for life for the rest of the year. And when it comes back again, we refresh ourselves again until it comes back. the same way until we meet our Lord subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us endeavor in Ramadan and practice our deen and remember Allah abundantly. One note that I would like to close with is one of the things that are sad to notice every Ramadan is in the beginning of Ramadan, people are so eager, so enthusiastic, so willing to worship. But as the days advance, you find backsliders, people starting to slow down their worship. Not remembering that actually Rasulullah ﷺ has taught us and practiced that the last 10 days of Ramadan are most likely where Laylatul Qadr is, which is the greatest night of every year, which is the best part of Ramadan. When you get Allah's blessings, as His mercy overflows on that night more than any other day or night of Ramadan. Just get that and you have salvation of a lifetime. You have the blessing of a lifetime. It could be your key, your direct air ticket to paradise. Rasulullah used to intensify his worship during the 10 nights of Ramadan. So he would worship Allah in Ramadan more than any other time of the year, but the last 10 nights also more than any other time of Ramadan. His tahajjud was especially in Ramadan in the 10 nights. Not only the Taraweeh, the night prayers after Isha, but the late night prayers before Fajr and Tahajjud, he would observe, especially during the 10 nights, and he would all, in fact, seclude himself in the masjid, in the i'tikaf, for the last 10 nights of Ramadan, to drive home to us the importance of these last 10 nights, so that we do not slack down after the first part of Ramadan has gone. Inshallah, like I said, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is something that we cannot fathom. But if we take these few reminders and go and try to find out more, either by reading, by researching, by studying, asking those who know, or by practicing the little that we know. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ. Exercise the fear of Allah, and Allah Himself will teach you. We say as-salatu ala nabi, that is another form of great dhikr. Making salatu ala nabi is perhaps the sugar, if you like, that will give taste to all of these forms of adhkar that I have mentioned and those that I have not mentioned. For Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in a hadith al-Qudsi to Him sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that if they, believers, take every road leading to me and knock every door coming to me, I will not accept them, I will not open anything to them unless they come behind you, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the Sahabi that said to him, we will say perhaps more about this next time when we talk specifically about dua. For like I said, dua and dhikr are two sides of the same coin. When the Sahabi said to him, alayhi salatu wasalam, that I will make all my salat, that is all my dua, for salat itself means dua, and dua is dhikr. I will make all my dua salat upon you, making salat upon you. Some may understand now why we always make salatu ala nabi together after salah before we make dua. I will make all my dua salat upon you. The Rasulullah alayhi salam said to him, Idan akfika hammuk. Or in some narrations, yakfika Allahu hammuk. Both mean the same thing. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will suffice you for all your needs. Allah will take care of everything that you need and will protect you from everything that you fear in this dunya and the hereafter. Subhanallah. Just salatu ala nabi. You don't need to ask for anything else. Just make salatu ala nabi, and Allah knows everything that you need, everything that you want, and Allah will take care of it. Will save you from everything that you feel. Dhikr, fellow believers, is so great. Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Abbas, perhaps the last note, on the day of Arafah, the Hajj, rahimahumullah, someone heard him making constant dhikr. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. Others were busy making dua, asking for all sorts of things, but he was constantly repeating only this. This man said to him, Ya Aba Abdullah, he's calling me this kunya, this is the day of dua. People are busy asking Allah for their needs, but I hear you only making dhikr. He said to this man, haven't you heard the Hadith al-Qudsi where Allah says through the tongue of His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Man ashghalahu dhikri an mas'alati a'atitu khayra ma u'ati as-sa'ilin. Allahu Akbar. That whoever is preoccupied with my remembrance, with remembering me, adoring my name, so that they don't find time to ask me for their needs, I will give them the best of what I give those who ask me for their needs. Say subhanallah. Then the greatest of all is remembering Allah. Dua, as Rasulullah said to us, mukhul ibadah is the brain of worship. But dhikr is the best form of dua. This is why Rasulullah, as I mentioned the Quran in the beginning, as the greatest form of dhikr, especially in salah. He tells us, for example, concerning Ayatul Kursi and the last two ayahs of Surah Al-Baqarah, Aman al-Rasul. He said they are Quran, they are salat, and they are dhikr and dua. Yes. That is why, because they are part of the Quran. They are Quran. And they are salah because you can recite them in salah as they are Quran. But they are dhikr also. When you recite them, you are remembering Allah. They are dua. When you recite them, you are making dhikr, and Allah will grant your needs and protect you from all forms of evil. Yes. So let us endeavor, fellow believers, wherever we are, let us be with Allah. Let our innermost being repeat La ilaha illallah at all times. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will Himself be our guardian and guarantee. And when Allah guards and guarantees you, you have nothing to fear and you will lose nothing. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون احسنه. اللهم ربنا ارنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم اعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك واغفر لنا وارحمنا واعف عنا وعافنا وارزقنا واهدنا. اللهم ربنا اغفر لنا ولوالدينا وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. وهب لنا من ازواجنا وذرياتنا قرة اعين واجعلنا للمتقين اماما. اللهم اعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم اعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم اعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. وتقبل منا صيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا وصالح اعمالنا وتجاوز عنا سيئاتنا واسرافنا في امرنا وتب علينا انك انت التواب الرحيم وتقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد الفاتح لما أغلق والخاتم لما سبق ناصر الحق بالحق والهادي إلى صراطك المستقيم وعلى آله حق قدره ومقداره العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.